Startling statistic for sure. At least I feel this way. We're talking about the fact that 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer in her lifetime. So there are natural things that you can do to reduce your risk and also support the conventional therapies even after the diagnosis. So here with us is a naturopathic approach, Dr. Jane Semple. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Natalie.
I mean, you hear that number, and that's a large portion of women.
It is a large portion of women, but keep in mind that not 1 out of 8 dies. That's not,
Very true.
It's actually about 3% death rate. So it's really not what.
Breast cancer has come along so far when it comes to treatments and really saving lives, that's for sure. But you're doing this in a way that we're supporting the conventional, but naturally.
Yes. So we talk about things like genes. Women will be tested for BRCA1, BRCA2. And they think that if they have that gene, that means that they're really increased risk of breast cancer. But some of the BRCA is only just mildly a mild problem. HER2 gene also can be amplified in breast cancer along with other cancers.
So I hadn't heard of that gene before, HER2.
HER2, and there is a drug that interrupts that gene, and it's called Herceptin. It's $100,000 a year. But black cohosh has been researched and will do the same thing.
What is that?
Black cohosh. It's an herb. Very inexpensive herb. You haven't heard of black cohosh, or you're not in menopause yet. If you're in menopause, you would have heard of black cohosh.
Well, then I feel silly because I haven't, but so maybe there are women who also have not heard of that before. Where do you get something like that?
You get it in your health food stores or from a practitioner is what you want to do.
And when you say there's studies out there that shows this does the same thing.
Yes, and the book that I wrote on naturopathic approach has 300 studies that are in peer-reviewed journals. All of these are on the National Institute of Health website. So, this is not just an opinion piece. I talk about mammograms. And believe it or not, if you do have one of the BRCA genes, you're more sensitive to radiation. So a mammogram can actually cause the cancer quicker, which is obviously not what you want.
So what's an alternative possibly to then that you would have people use?
I really say prevention is what you want.
Okay.
I don't agree with screening, and again, this is the experts are weighing in on this. If you have a lump and you want to know what's going on, you can do a thermogram, and that really would tell you better what's going on.
And again, maybe other women do, and I apologize for not. What is thermogram?
A thermogram, it's really just they're testing for how much heat this is giving off.
Okay, so when I know is it 40 that they say normally you should start getting?
No, 50 is actually, 50 is what they do in Europe, 50 to 55, depending on the country.
Now, so you're opposed to that even for?
It's not that I'm opposed to it, I'm saying the research doesn't support it.
Okay.
All right, but there are natural things that we can do.
So let's go through some of the natural things then too.
And they have tested, things like flaxseed oil and gamma-linolenic acid, so it's a GLA. They've tested it against tamoxifen. It actually outperforms tamoxifen in reducing cancers. You can put it with tamoxifen, the two together. Will do very well.
And tamoxifen is
it's a breast cancer treatment.
Okay.
It's for premenopausal women. So this is something that that has been researched. They've even tried taking tamoxifen, which is rather toxic, and putting it on with the GLA oil and putting it on topically instead of taking it the entire pill. And so you don't get the side effects to it.
So once someone is diagnosed with breast cancer, you're saying that there are these naturopathic ways that people can you say it can get rid of it or just reduce?
We actually are not, believe it or not, allowed to use the word cure.
Okay.
But I feel that, whether a woman does the natural things or conventional or combines them, I would suggest at least combining them. That's up to them. Mm-hmm. You'd be surprised. A lot more, oncologists are becoming open to this as the research is kind of out there and they're learning more about it. But some things as simple as tea. A Malaysian study showed that women who are drinking 4 cups of tea a day, and starting in their 20s.
Caffeinated or decaf, or does it not matter?
It really doesn't matter.
Okay.
And it's actually heart healthy also. But that would push cancer back 10 years.
10 years.
10 years. So if you're going to get cancer at 50 or 60 or 70, that's a huge difference.
Black tea?
Black tea,
Green
works,
tea?
black or green or white. You know, white tea is kind of in right now too.
I could talk to you forever about this. This is a copy of your book here, Doctor's Guide to Breast Cancer, Prevention and Treatment. So if you'd like to purchase a copy of Dr. Jane's book, A Doctor's Guide, as I just mentioned, to breast cancer, you can also order it online at woodlandpublishing.com or stop by and pick it up at our office in North Olmsted. I think from hearing everything she just said, you're probably like me and you want to learn more and know more, so they can just give you a call at your office?
Correct. They can actually email, yes.
Email you? Okay, and we'll put that information up on the website too, because I think there's going to be a lot of, you threw out a lot of things, and I think a lot of great things, which might entail a lot of questions, and hopefully check in with her and get some answers. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back after the short break. Sorry. You went and I did. I'm sorry.